This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Located in Troon, Scotland, founded in 1878, Royal Troon Golf Club playing host to the Open Championship 8 times and is slated to host its 9th major championship in 2016. I'm Rich Lerner for EA Sports, and alongside me today, my friend and colleague Frank Nobilo. Frank, you've played in the Open Championship on a couple of occasions here at Royal Troon. It's a golf course that features some breathtaking scenery, and it can also serve up some breathtaking golf.
True links golf course, Rich. Relatively soft start can certainly lull you into that false sense of security, and then the golf course really starts to open up. That homeward 9, often coming back into a prevailing breeze, is very much a stern test.
Frank, this ball's in the rough. Anything you change in your technique when a ball's sitting down a little bit?
Yeah, you put the ball back a little bit further in your stance because you're going to get a bit of grass between the ball and the club face. You have to allow for that and keep that club moving. That grass is going to be that grass is going to create a certain amount of resistance.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Ricky over the putt for par. Almost. Wow. Frank, not exactly the kind of putt you want to start off the round.
Yeah, it looks like first hole nerves. Just needs to shake it off, take the bogey, and he's going to have to start again on the next.
Frank, they call this second hole black block. They also call it the most heavily bunkered hole on the entire course. What do you have to do to stay away from them?
Well, it plays in the same direction as the first hole. So the breeze, the prevailing breeze, normally off the right. Some bunkers in play either side. Really just let the ball go to ground, let it run out. There's 11 bunkers in total on the second hole.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. Anything you do differently with your setup?
Just dig my feet into the sand a little bit more, but make sure you focus on the exact spot on the ball you want to hit.
So, Frank, out of the bunker and back into play.
Yeah, the late Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's always the next one. Well, by getting the ball back in play, he just made that a little easier.
13 feet away.
Unlucky for some, but very makeable.
Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. Back to the tee box here on hole number 3, and there are a few club selection decisions that come into play on this first shot, Frank.
There is. The reason why, there's a burn that cuts through from the 16th hole all the way across the golf course through the middle of the 3rd. And that stops, or should I say starts, at about 285 yards. That really has to be at the forefront of your mind. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. Frank, what's the best way to get at the golf ball when it's sitting down just a bit in the rough?
You have to accept the fact, first and foremost, that you're not going to get clean contact. So you have to decide whether the ball's going to come out short or it's going to fly. Because very rarely will it come out the normal distance of what you hit on the fairway. So if it's a little thin and wispy, chances are it might fly. If it's nestled down, you're going to have to take at least another club.
Just an incredible shot. That is a very makeable putt after a great approach. Well played. Here's Ricky Fowler for par. +1 in the early going. Rich Lerner back at historic Royal Troon with Frank Novola, who's played the Open Championship on 2 occasions here at a golf course that goes back to the late 1800s. This is the first par 5, Frank, on the golf course, and you would think a chance to make a birdie and get that round started.
It certainly is. Dogleg right, 2 bunkers on the left. If you hit the ball a little bit straight, you'll certainly get into those pot bunkers. The one on the right, most people can carry. You carry that, this par 5, more than reachable.
Frank, just a slight miss off the tee. He's in the fairway bunker.
Yeah, just really got to pick the right club once again. Sometimes you take a little bit more club out of the fairway bunker, choke down.
His second shot. This requires a lot of speed through the ball.
Good recovery shot. Couldn't make the green, but at least he's back in play.
Played the smart shot right there. Ricky Fowler playing his 4th shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Good strike right there, right off the center of the face and about 20 feet away. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Oh, you can see the frustration. Almost kicked his putter head right there with a drop shot here at the 4th. Slipping just a bit, another bogey, and now 2 over par. Now the first par 3 here at Royal Troon. It's the 5th hole, a little bit more than 200 yards. What's the challenge here, Frank?
A lot depends on the breeze. Plus, you remember, you've got to allow for the roll and the bounce here. So anything pitching on the front of the green, let that ball release or kick towards the middle and back of the screen.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. Can't hide the flagstick from that man. Two over for the day. Well, Frank, typically when you step up to a par 5, you're thinking birdie, maybe even eagle. But this is 601 yards, a behemoth. It's long, and you can get punished for a mistake here, can't you?
It used to be the longest par 5 on the Open Championship rota. But remember, there's humps and hollows that can always be used in your advantage, to your advantage. If you aim it down the right side, the ball normally kicks back towards the middle of the fairway. So that's the side to be aiming on.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
And it makes the green in regulation. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
How did that stay out, Frank?
Did everything but go in.
Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Frank, we're moving inland now, and what are we facing here at this par 4 7th hole?
Just a dog leg to the right. Ideally, just a little cut off the tee.
They'll be happy with that. In the fairway, now a good chance to attack this hole. Second shot now for Ricky Fowler. Not enough on that one.
Yeah, just seemed to baby it.
Ricky Fowler, a Gen X superstar, ready with his approach shot. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. This one just requires a little bit of focus. That's a par. Stays at +2. Frank, the par 3 8th hole, it is one of the most famous little holes in all of golf.
123 yards postage stamp. Pick the wrong club, though, maybe a little too much, and it'll be a green that you'll more than airmail.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Needs a pair of binoculars to see the hole. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
This would give him the par. That's how you maintain momentum. You make those putts for par. Frank, how does the front nine finish up with this par 4?
Well, the par 4 ninth is called the Monk. It's not overly long, 423 yards, dogleg to the right. Just one bunker down the left to be avoided.
Frank, there was another playoff at Royal Troon 2004 in another case where a Hall of Fame player was beaten.
That's right. That was Ernie Els versus Todd Hamilton. Todd Hamilton had won Honda earlier in the year. He'd left the Japanese tour, and he'd gone to the Open Championship actually full of confidence. But unbeknown to Ernie Els, he was going to be beaten by the use of the utility club. Remember, Todd Hamilton, time and time again, when he would miss the green, would chip with the utility club and beat Ernie Els in that 4-hole playoff.
And now we see so many players using that shot from just off the green. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
That's still not done. A good third shot, maybe get away here with par. It's a big green. Just managed to get it smack bang in the middle of it.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, that's disappointing. He misses the par putt, and he'll have this for bogey. It's a bogey bid now for Fowler. So, with that, 3 over par now for the round. Front nine is in the rearview mirror here at Royal Troon. Rich Lerner pleased as always to be alongside Frank Novello, who played Royal Troon in the Open Championship twice. This back nine getting underway, and we start with the 10th hole, and Frank, a blind tee shot.
Yeah, from the championship tees, the hole bends to the left. Really, you don't want to hit the ball more than 280, 290 yards. Otherwise, you'll run out of fairway. From there, just a short iron. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Played that one on the commercial side, as they say in the professional game, inside 30 feet.
Yeah, 27 feet to be precise, but to make it from there, that's asking for a bit.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Hasn't been easy, but he'll take it. That's a par. 3 over for the day. Hole number 11 is called Railway. Frank, it looks as though it should be called Gorse because that's about all I see on this first shot.
Without doubt, the toughest tee shot you're going to face at Royal Troon. This is hit the fairway or start racking up a big score.
Excellent drive, Frank. Right where you want to be.
Second shot.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Three over for the day. Frank, how do you size up the 12th hole here at Royal Troon?
Well, first look at 430 yards, you'd think it'd be a rather easy par 4, but that's not really the issue. The issue is Gorse right and left. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Be a little disappointed with that because it lands in the rough and it appears to be fairly thick over there. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. So from the rough back to the fairway, that's the right way to go.
Yeah, didn't take the bait. And at least now he's only going to play the price of a poor tee shot. Still got a good chance, though, getting away with par.
Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Fowler has this for par. Good effort and a good par putt. And now the tee shot here at the 472-yard par 4 13th.
A hole that bends to the right. Ideally hit it down the left side. And then you're playing to a raised two-tiered green.
That's a nice spot right there in the fairway here at 13. Second from an excellent lie. Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Into the thick stuff, that's a difficult lie. He'll need to be strong with this. And he's made it onto the green now. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Saves par, stays at 3 over. Heading for home now, Frank, the par 3 14, just under 180 yards. What's the key here?
Well, it's rather narrow at the front there. There's 3 bunkers, but it's the second 2 that you really worry about that narrow the front of this green up. Plus, the front is slightly raised, so ideally you want it to fly it more towards the middle where it starts to widen up.
And it makes the green in regulation. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good.
Really. This is an awkward length. Well, for such a strong man, weak putt.
Now I'll have to make this just to avoid making Michael Dublé. Been a rocky road to this point. 4 over par on the round. Now at the 15th at Royal Troon Golf Club, 483-yard par 4. This, Frank, is one of the hardest holes in the course.
It's certainly a stout par 4 at that distance. If you're playing it into a head breeze, then 260 yards is certainly going to be a big tee shot. But 260 yards takes all the bunkers out of play.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. This is the second shot at the par 4. Chance to get it close here. Playing in the winds can really be demoralizing. You might hit a shot perfectly and airmail it by 20 yards.
Yeah, well, just because the first part of the round hasn't gone your way, you should still have a feel of the conditions by now.
Not his best stuff right there. Well, too bad. He gives one back. The back nine here at Royal Troon has only one par 5, and here it is, Frank.
At 542 yards, you'd think it's reachable, but that burn cuts in at 280 yards, so it means you have to lay back. But I remember back in 1997, playing alongside Tiger Woods, and he still managed to get it onto the green from behind the burn. It was some shot.
You knew at that point he was something special.
He certainly was. He then knocked it in from 40 feet for an eagle 3.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
This is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough. Into the tall cabbage. That ball is swallowed up. Ball sitting down here in the rough. He's digging in. And from the rough, he manages to not only make the green, but get within easy striking distance of the hole. And getting ready for the putt. Frank, you know what gets me about this game? Here a person makes a legitimate effort, makes a good stroke, and that ball spins around and is just laughing at the player. And now what's left, you could breathe on that ball. It counts the same as a 300-yard drive. It's not right.
But it's the beauty of the game.
Second shot now for Ricky Fowler. Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Pretty good shot right there. Not a gimme, but well within his range. 6 over par on the round right now. Frank, now the final hole, steeped in so much history. When you think about the legends of the game who have walked off this tee on their way to the claret jug, guys like Tom Watson, Arnold Palmer, Bobby Locke.
Yeah, if you've got a one-shot lead standing on this tee, somehow you have to avoid those 4 bunkers. 3 down the left, 1 down the right, with a strip of fairway in between.
Frank, this is a hole, number 18, where you don't want to be in a hurry to get to the clubhouse.
Yeah, there's out of bounds just off the back of the screen, so you might want to keep that in the back of your mind. Don't go long.
OB is just steps from the clubhouse. This is a cross-country special. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right. Here's Ricky Fowler for par. in for par. So, Frank, as we put a wrap on the day, it wasn't his best performance, but there's always tomorrow in golf.
Yeah, you still got to keep your head high. Golf's a game that's going to be it's going to bring everybody to their knees now and again, but dream for a better day, and it could be just around the corner.
And there'll be a next time for us as well, partner.